Let me ask first about where we are in the process of developing these Arctic-specific regulations within BOEM for the exploration and development in the OCS areas out there. As you know, exploration has been delayed going forward this next season, in part because of what's gone on with the regulatory uncertainty. Can you give me some sense as to the timeline we're looking at here for these regulations, and whether or not it's your intent to have those regs in place in time for the 2014 drilling season?
Senator, I have had meetings with both Shell and ConocoPhillips, who are the principals involved in this. Have not yet met with Statoil. That may come up. I sense a strong commitment to safe and responsible development of the Arctic by the operators and by the regulators. I don't believe that, in my conversations, that either Shell or ConocoPhillips feel that it is regulations that's getting in their way. It is ensuring that the technology is available to be able to respond in the event of an incident, a spill incident up there that is of paramount importance to us, and I'm sure to you as well. We certainly don't want a situation in the Arctic like we experienced in the Gulf. And so Shell has been ahead of the game in working on particularly the oil spill response. As you know, that their response was not it didn't pass the tests. They would acknowledge that, and certainly the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management agreed that the test was not passed. Shell is back working on developing a strategy to make that happen, and they're going to continue to test until they get it right. There is a requirement that the ability to drill a relief well be there, because unlike other parts of the world where you've got the ability to rapidly respond with other units that might be in the area, that's not true. And so both Shell and ConocoPhillips and Statoil, if they proceed with their development, will look to share resources to be able to drill a relief well should there be a problem. That's another factor. But I don't sense that there is any disconnect between industry and the regulator in terms of what needs to be done or the timing. And
well, let me ask for clarification on that, because as we know, when Shell was moving forward as the only entity, the only producer up there, the plans were very specific as to Shell's operations. Conoco is looking at a different process, using a jackup rig. So in terms of ensuring that the regulations are out there, that they are clear and understandable, that allows for a level of certainty, there is, as I understand, still regulations that need to be defined. So the question is, will that be clearly mapped out far enough in advance so that Conoco can advance in 2014, or Shell can advance in 2014? Actually, excuse me, Conoco has already said that they won't go in 2014. They're putting it off an additional year. But will that regulatory certainty be there for Shell should they decide to move forward in 14? And then a secondary question is as it relates to the air quality programs. As you know, in the 2012 appropriations bill, we transferred the authority from EPA to DOI, and so same question: will you be prepared within BOM to have finalized these regulations, not only on the exploration and the development side, but on the air quality side, in time for the 2014 season?
I'm going to ask Deputy Secretary Hayes to weigh in with more detail.
Thank you, Secretary. And Senator, first on the question of Arctic-specific standards, we are going to move forward and put in regulations the requirements that Shell was required to do under the exploration plan. We are looking to have performance standards so that any company working in the Arctic will be expected to meet a performance standard for example, to deal with the containment for a spill, but with the flexibility for companies to figure out how they want to meet that standard. We do expect to have proposed regulations out by the end of this year, so that there will be clarity going forward. They will be based on the kinds of requirements that we've worked on together and that were used in the field last summer. So there should not be significant concern about what's in them, but we do believe that it's appropriate to put them in regulations now that we have more than one operator moving up there, and that's our intent. With regard to the air side, we are working hard at developing the regulations to implement the addition of the jurisdiction to BOEM to handle air requirements in Alaska as they do in the Gulf, and we expect forward movement on those this year as well.
Do you expect that there will be any difference between how the department regulates the air quality in the Gulf and up north?
I think it'll be the same approach, Senator, which is what I believe is required under the law that you helped to instigate and pass.
Good. I appreciate that. And I think it was important to hear the word flexibility used in your response when you're talking about the performance standards, because recognizing that you may have different technologies, different approaches there. Yes, it's important to have that that backup, if you will, that standby system, but the designs might be different given what the different operators are utilizing. So it is important, again, that we have those regulations that are clearly defined in advance, well in advance, hopefully, of the season, so that that level of certainty moving forward is there.